Uh, so big announcement today is that I'll be stepping down as the head of product and head of marketing. Those are my official titles at Discussions in Novosphere. I'll be stepping down from those positions at the end of the month. I'll still be around. I'll still be helping out. But I already said it before. But if you're joining out or you're just listening to recording, is that me and the team, we had diverging interests. We've been had this for a while and been planning for this transition for a while now. At the beginning of the month, so I'll still be around. I'll still be helping out, but we are looking to kind of move in different directions. So now I think with the TLS worker proposal passing, with the new design coming, and actually we are planning a rebranding, which I will be helping with during the transition period. I think now is like a good time. There's never like a great time to do it, but now is a second best time, a good time to do it. So that's basically the big piece of news. And obviously, I mentioned before, we just passed our TLOS worker proposal, the most popular TLOS worker proposal in recent memory. So again, we don't get extra TLOS for doing that, but obviously shows that that community is very supportive, very active, and you see a lot of their posts on a platform. And we're gonna continue working within those communities and including incoming communities like Apex to kind of cross promote and kind of share our technologies and beyond. So that's all coming down pipeline. And yeah, I think that's a half decent summary. Did I leave anything? Uh, Paul? And then the scam was coming, and then
So yeah, anyway, that's Gamma. Gamma's exciting. I think most people will agree who've used it that it's a big improvement in terms of just how login flow works. But there's a bunch of things under the hood that make it a lot easier to to make the um, to make it easier to integrate it more seamlessly with what people are used to. Because we've definitely taken away a lot of the like esoteric crypto elements. So I think it's a big improvement, and then this goes hand in hand with something that we've been very conscious of, which is the big challenge with what we're trying to do is to get people to come use discussion. You've got a network built up somewhere else, coming to a new platform that doesn't have a lot of content, doesn't have people you know. I think it's a big challenge, and I think everyone who's in the social media space would recognize that that is the biggest challenge. And getting people to come on board, requires a certain critical mass of users before things can take off. And we haven't really hit that critical mass. We've definitely made some improvements over the past, say 3 months, but we're looking to revamp our bootstrapping process. Um, so a big part of that is not necessarily solely targeting, one particular type of user. So, up until now, it's been pretty much we've been trying to target crypto users, and those users are valuable, but there's a lot more users in the broader space to go after the broader sort of technology space. Just there's interest groups that we can pull on across the board that I don't think that we were effectively addressing prior to this. So at our next monthly meeting, we will be outlining our bootstrap strategy, and this is a pure play to go after a very large chunk of users at a much faster rate than we've had the ability to do so, so far. So that would be coming. I think we're part of this is ties in directly to what we're doing with Gamma. So bear with us while we make sure that stuff is from a technological perspective is good to go. And so that, as I said, that'll be opening up to the general public in a couple weeks. And then by next month's meeting, we'll have laid out the strategy that we're going after, and parts of that will be in play by that meeting. So that's kind of the big announcements in terms of where we're going with development and what we're doing, obviously from a personnel perspective. I guess I'll pass this off to Brian, maybe to give an update on some of the financials. I know that he's been in the works of preparing kind of quarterly financial information. So you want to take over, Brian?
Yeah. So it's my goal to provide quarterly financial statements regarding like most of our expenses to show that we're not frivolously spending the funds. I'm in the moment of At the moment, I'm currently reconciling all the accounts, and I'll be able to provide a quarterly financial statement at the beginning of April. And I'll post this into our public channel.
Awesome. Yeah, we've obviously, been doing a lot behind the scenes the last bit of time with the transition, and yeah, so I think we've kind of covered what we wanted to talk about. I noticed we actually had an audience for this meeting. So, is there any questions from anyone that we could answer on this? While we have everyone here. Then you can put stuff in the chat so we can respond to live if that's better. Okay. Yeah, no, I think that covers it. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. I see Temp even posted a question in the chat, which is, what are you looking for in a new marketer? I think there's a couple things that we're looking for. It may not be in a specific person. So Temp team is back on. I will answer your question now. We in fact might be bringing on, maybe a couple people, bringing on some people to kind of act as more like ambassadors to both the crypto world and to other groups within, within the internet sort of culture in general. So part of that has to do with our new bootstrap strategy that we envision, and part of it has to do with the fact that we're building infrastructure that's a lot easier to onboard new people. So I think mostly would be, if you could kind of nail it down to a couple key bullet points, would be someone who's interested in new technology, who understands blockchain technology on a basic level, and is willing to learn the specifics of what we're doing and the advantages that the Novosphere has with its software and its ecosystem. But have a general interest in technology, understand the importance of safeguarding free expression and what we're trying to do at the Novosphere Foundation and with the software what we're building. But we're pretty open to people, in this new kind of economic reality. People can work from anywhere. We're not necessarily a 9-to-5 operation because we're worldwide. We have audiences international. Our team has been across the globe since the beginning. So, I think the idea here is really, what are people's interests and will they align with ours? So, we want to talk to people who are interested in kind of joining the program. As I said, a more formal sort of job description will be posted to discussions and the committee. Yeah, so exactly. More of a general approach, I think, is where we're going with, in terms of, what audience we're going after. I mean, part of our roadmap has always been, how do we reward content creators without creating a system to, that games, that's very gameable and is actually encourages gaming of the system and just to farm tokens essentially. So I think that plays very well into, as we build out new version of discussions. And by the way, rolling in Aura and the Aura system is all very much an important piece of this. So that our reputation token is, plays a huge role in this. But this idea that we can reward content creators, via a system where it's a more of a peer-to-peer ad system, I think is going to play pretty well into this. So taking a sort of formal role with our team, or taking a more informal role, but sort of a kind of guided, hey, this is the type of content we want created, these are the types of communities we want to build interactions with, is going to be another piece of this. So somewhat more informal in that sense. If there's no more questions, I think that probably concludes the recording for now. I mean, people are obviously free to stay on and chat off the record if they want.
Yeah, that sounds good. So,
Sounds good.
yeah, so unfortunately, Asphyxia again was having audio issues, so he can't join us. But thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to talking with you next month. Ciao, ciao.